Welcome back to the Finca, everyone. I'm not sure how much we're going to get done in this video. The whole of Spain is just covered in heat warnings. Some areas red, which is serious threat to life, or can be a serious threat to life, hence the red warnings. Temperatures forecast to exceed 44 Celsius. It's pretty warm. It's not unusual, don't get me wrong. We pretty much get this every year for a week or so, you know. It's either in July or August. In this case it's in August, or sometimes in both. We regularly see temperatures every year around 43-44 Celsius here. So yeah, how do we survive? Humidity is probably the largest factor that affects how hot it feels. Your ability to cool down is kind of regulated by how much moisture is already in the atmosphere. We're quite fortunate here. We live up in the mountains. We're at an altitude of 565 metres the house above sea level. So it tends to be, it's a lot less humid than places by the coast. The coastal areas are far more populated than this area, possibly for obvious reasons, and it's always a little bit cooler down there as well, but the humidity levels can be horrendous. I think currently today it's forecast to be, well, I think it's not going to drop below 60% humidity and be well over 100 overnight. Daytime temperatures aren't quite as high, although they're still, you know, mid to high 30s in some areas. The nighttime temperatures don't drop down. You know, they're looking at 24, 25, 26 degrees Celsius, again overnight. With 100% humidity, that's just horrific. You're not sleeping, we're not without aircon anyway. Up here, our temperatures at night generally fall into the teens. If we're lucky, down to 16, 17, generally 18, 19, again, which is very pleasant actually, again with the lower humidity we have. Being off-grid, of course, the weather is very important to us. We rely on solar for our power, etc. And we actually have our own weather station. It's, if anyone's interested, it's a Davis Vantage Pro 2 Plus. Not that we're sponsored by them or advocating them, but it's absolutely super accurate. It updates. It's a wireless to the base, to the station. The station is at the back here. The base is in what will be the office when it's finished. It updates every couple of seconds, super accurate. So that, I mean, that's how we know, you know, reliable weather conditions that we're experiencing all the time. Plus it gives us solar and radiation, UV, etc., all that. I think if you're off grid, very important to have that. Plus it lets us know how hot it is as well and what the humidity is. So I've lived in Spain for 15 years. As I said before, the heat of the summer is not unusual. You kind of do get used to it. You must get used to it to a certain extent, but never completely. You still don't want to be working, doing physical work when it's 40 odd degrees Celsius. I'm in the kitchen at the minute. We're very fortunate again that this is a bit of an earth ship. It's underground. All that bit there is underground. It's got the apartment, the hayloft is above it, and between here, that's the south, that way where the sun shines most of the time, beats down. It's got two big thick walls between us and there. Which helps obviously to keep the heat out massively. The temperature in here is currently steady, let's do a quick check, 26 degrees Celsius, which is actually most pleasant. Very pleasant actually. It actually feels cool. When you walk in, it feels like it's got air conditioning. It doesn't, that's just the temperature as it is. In the snug, which is behind you, similar there, it's 27 in there, 26.9 I think. And in the new office that we're just working on at the minute, where I insulated all the ceiling, that's right on the front of the house. gets the sun beating on it all day, it's only 26.9 in there. Yeah, and that's really, if I open the windows at night in there, which I don't because we get all cats and things coming in through the night, it will bring that temperature down even more. So the kind of building itself works. I've lived in apartments in Spain and other houses in Spain. When I first moved over here, we lived in an apartment, and it was just horrendous. It was so cold in winter, it was impossible to heat. And as you know, this place is toasty in winter. And in the summer, you just couldn't cool it down. It was just, the heat was just oppressive. You couldn't sleep at night. Even with the windows open, getting as much cooler air through as you could, didn't make a lot of difference because the whole building just heated up massively. So the first key, I think, is to have massive thick stone walls and deep inside, partially underground, works a treat. One of my biggest concerns at the moment is the hens. When we built this place for them, we made sure they had tons of shade. Where they're all sort of huddled now, they've all got up because I've just come in. They all kind of bask down there. It's all loose soil, they like to dig there, but I dampen it down for them, and they quite like to sit in it when it's damp because it must be a bit cooler. They've got bowls of water that I change 2-3 times a day, or 3-4 times a day actually when it's like this, just to try and help them keep them cool. The door's open on the coop in the day, so it's just a big shady area. It doesn't heat up because the air can circulate through it perfectly. But they cope quite well, don't you, ladies? They're still laying, so yeah, you don't peck it in the damp. They're not daft. This never gets the sun here at all, so the ground never actually heats up, just that little strip. It never actually gets heated up by the sun either. So it works out for them. Just have to keep an eye on them. That's the weather station in question, right up there on that pole. The cats always find cool places. That's Dolly Tickle in the generator box, and that stays shaded pretty much all day, and so the slab she's lying on never actually gets heated up. It's probably quite cool. Little Callie is just under the trailer over there, if you can see her. Alpha usually lies under there as well. Again, I try not to move it so the ground never actually gets heated up. So it's just shady all the time, so it's a nice cool spot for them, or as cool as it can be. The cats of course can all come in. Quite often get a few of them in the corral in there. Jessie's in there at the minute. She went out earlier, brought herself back in because it was so hot, so they can all come in if they want to. And this till him in, you just like to lie on this lovely marble floor, don't you, because it's cold, isn't it? It's cool. She normally sleeps most of the day, and they all do actually. They just get down and go to sleep, don't you? But you like your belly tickled, don't you? You have to have a tickle, don't you? Hey, go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. Those teeth. Good cow. And again, another thing we do is, obviously we've got a weather station, we've got thermometers in most of the rooms. We monitor the temperature inside relative to outside, and when it becomes cooler outside than it is inside, we open all the windows up to let all the cooler air come through, leave them open overnight. The hottest part of the day here is usually around 5 to 6 p.m. And sometimes it can linger on until 9 and 10 o'clock at night before it actually starts to cool off. That can be quite oppressive as well. The coolest time of the day is just before sunrise. Might sound logical, but it is. And again, so we're up well before then, not well before then, but about that time, to get, keep an eye on the temperature again as it starts warming up outside. When the temperature warms up more than it is inside, then we shut all the doors and all the windows and block it off, seal it up, keep it as cool as we possibly can. So I'm in the echoey office. Love it cool in here. I put a load of insulation in the ceiling. The room directly next door is currently 31 degrees Celsius inside in the shade. There's lots of gaps in the windows. This is double glazed, insulated. The temperature in here, well, that in my hand actually, is, you can see that, 26.4, but the humidity is 85%. That's what's killing this. 26 at a low humidity, fantastic temperature. But because I've been working in here, throwing so much moisture at this floor in the mixes, and I'm just wetting everything down so that the lime will take. It's the humidity is just horrendous. I've had the windows open pretty much now for a couple of days, and it's still at 84. So it's going to take quite a bit of time, I think. Yeah, it's even sitting in the room where the computer is. I'm editing videos at 31 degrees C. It becomes very, very oppressive after a bit. It's just too warm for practical. I'm sure there's not many offices in the world at that temperature. Hence the reason I really want to get this office done, because it's going to be a much nicer place to work, to do all that side of things that we need to do. The best time to get anything done, of course, is first thing in the morning, 7:30. As soon as the sun comes up at the moment, up until about 2 o'clock. It's kind of bearable and workable at that point, but unfortunately at the moment Sharon's away with her mum. She's back tomorrow actually, and so I've got all the animals to look after and all the plants to water and everything. Dog needs walking, all that kind of thing, so it really is leaving me a reduced part of the day to be able to get stuff done. I was just contemplating bringing a barrel load of bricks in to give myself a head start for the morning, but I've just used a temperature probe on them, the infrared one, and they're at 53 degrees C, those bricks, so I don't think that'd be a smart idea to bring them in. Fortunately, our melons, you can see that down there, are now ripening, so we've got lovely cold melon. We've also got Charentais in the courtyard, which are ripening. There's about 4 or 5 on here. Yes, melons and plums. We've also got our plums, which are super juicy and ripe as well. Lovely, out of the fridge, ice cold. You can't beat it on a hot summer's day. Just going to stick these here for a minute. They'll be in the shade well, very shortly, in the next half an hour or so I can start bringing them in hot, and start bringing some more down. Anyway, so all's not lost. As I said the other day, I want to try and get these cuts done first, so I'm going to start marking them up ready. The front of the house will be in the shade in a little bit, hopefully, so I might be able to make a start getting them cut. At least it's some progress, so we'll crack on. These against the wall, that's about all the same size, so I marked 1, written on the back. I need 6 at the moment. As I said before, these should all be the same size down here. This is parallel, square. All the others might need some diagonals, like all them along there, so I'll get them done next. Right, that's 12 cuts. I've got 6 for down here and 6 across the back there. So an hour out there, or best part of an hour, cutting these. It's absolutely outrageous. It's 11 o'clock in the morning and it's already 35 degrees Celsius, 95 Fahrenheit out there. I think today is going to be absolutely bonkers because it's already hotter than it was forecast to be at this time. So I think I'm going to get a mix on next and get these stuck in, then at least that's this corner gone, and yeah, I'm not going out there again now. Well, I'm off. Let's get these in at least. Temperature in here is still 26 degrees. It's a bit small like that. 71%, but I'm guessing it's going to start going up again now. I'll start putting these in. I mean, managed to get it on the wall, of course. It'll touch in after. Can't be helped. Let's see if I can get one. Do the hardest one first. So I'll get these in. Happy days. Another bit. It'll patch up after, it's not a problem. Only to be expected. Right, it's just had to go a bit faster now. Fab corner is finished. Bar pointing, of course, and another bit that takes forever as well. So I think I'm just going to carry on now and get some more full ones in. I'm going to cut the edges as I go, I think, rather than having to do a load all at once. Just do them well, like one at a time as I need them. Be a lot easier and less hot. It's coming along. I've got a few more in over there. The humidity and temperature combination is now becoming unbearable in here. It's back up to 83% humidity. It's either surprising. Each of these tiles, when soaked in the bucket, I put 5 litres or so in the bucket and get 8 tiles in, and after doing 2 lots of 8 tiles, like 16 tiles, the bucket's empty or nearly empty. That's how much moisture they're absorbing. It needs to be done because it helps them to stick better. Plus all the moisture that's in the mixes and all the moisture that's chucked on the floor as well. So I'm going to call it a day. I've actually got to go and pick Sharon up anyway from the airport in a little bit. So things might be getting a bit back to normal over the next sort of few days. Assuming well, when we get through this heat wave as well. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thanks to everyone that supported the channel, all our Patreon supporters, of course, everyone that supports the coffee, and we'll see you on the next one.